Hi there, Wally here. In this video, I'm going to talk about if statements in Bash script. If you're not yet familiar with the if statement, do not worry, this video is for you. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, this is the right moment. Just click in the button and don't forget to hit the bell, because once I release a new video, you'll be notified about it. Feel free to take your preferred beverage, have a seat, and let's enjoy the video. And here we are. This is VS Code. I have some examples that will be used in this video. And here's the terminal. So the font size is good. Let's do this. On all the scripts, you see that we have this line starting by the pound or hash sign followed by the exclamation mark. This is also known as shebang. In a sequence, we have the path to the shell. In this case, /bin/bash. So let's move it on. We have here the variable attribution, which means the variable a is receiving value 1, the content value 1. And then we have the if statement. Basically, we have the if statement like this: if, then, phi, or if, then, else, and phi. And Wally, what is the difference? Let's see in this video. Basically, what will happen is if $a, which we know is value 1, is equal to value 1. And Wally, how do you know equal? Because we have this equal twice, double equal sign. This is going to test if the content of this variable is equal to this one. Okay? If this is true, if this statement is true, then the bash will move it on and will execute this echo with those values. If this statement is false, what will happen is this line will be skipped and then we'll move it on to else. And then this will be presented. Okay? If we change this one, for example, to value 11, and then we have now, hey, value 11 is equal to value 1. No, this is false. So this line will be skipped because the if statement is false. And then we'll move it on to else. And then this line will be printed or will be presented. So let's see this in action. Example 1. So we have $a has the value of value 1 or value 1. So let me show some tricks here. We can see that we have the $a. So I would like to escape this one because I would like to present $a, the name of the variable. I would like not to print the value of that variable. So I will add the backslash before the dollar sign. In this way, I will be just escaping and will say to bash, hey, you're not going to convert this one or print the content of that variable. Instead, I would like to see the dollar symbol. And this is what we are seeing right here, okay? $a. So $a has the value of, this value 1 is a literal, it is an information that I typed over there, or $a, and then we can see value 1. This value 1 is not literal, this is the content of the variable, is this one. Okay? Let's move it on. Let's do a change over here. Let me put value 11, and if I execute this one right now, look at that, the content of $1, and again I'm using the backslash just to keep $a. The content of $a is not value 1, it is something else, something different. Okay, and then we are seeing the if statement in action. Let me just add one information here that is pretty important and pretty useful when work with bash. It is like, well, this is basically magic and I would like to see what's going on under the hood. Is that any way to enable some sort of debugging or something like that? Good question. Amazing. And definitely yes. Anytime you wish, you can do this. Bash-x. So basically -x is gonna improve the verbosity and will print out what's going on under the hood. And then this will help you to understand eventually if some error is happening in your code. Definitely this is a nice approach. So let me press enter And then check this out. We have the variable attribution. So A, the variable A is receiving value 11. And then we have those symbols, which means the if statement. And then we have value 11 is equal to value 1. No, this is false. Then let me print this content. And then we can see echo the content of $A, the literal, is not value 1. Okay? Amazing. Let's move it on. Let's go to the next example. Let me clean up this terminal. Now we have two variables. And then we have value 1 for A and value 2 to B. And in this if statement, I'm checking those variables, two different variables. So maybe your question now is, why are you using double quotes? Because eventually never ever I use a double quote in my script and all of them are working fine. This is a best practice because eventually you need to escape something, or eventually you have something like this, value space 1 and value space 2. If you have the double quotes, you guarantee that you have like both information, value space 1 or value space 2. If you remove this one over here, what will happen is the variable A will contain only value, and this will break your script. Okay, so definitely this is a good practice. You can keep this one. I'll not be using space at this moment, just to keep it simple, but definitely you can think about it. So we have $A and $B, and what I'm doing here is, hey, is $A equal to $B? Another question that I can see in your mind, or I can hear from you right now, is I can see Wally using all the time equal, and eventually I can use -eq or gt or something like that. They are for numbers. If you're working with strings, we have some specific symbols that we can use for strings, and also we have some specific characters or symbols that we can use for numbers. Okay, this is specific for strings. So check this out. Based on this one, $A is value 1, $B is value 2. We know this is false. This is not gonna pass. If this is false, then this statement will be skipped, or at least this line, and then we have the else. Then the else will be true, and all the information from here will be presented. So let's give it a shot. Example 2. And then the content of $A, see, I'm escaping one more time here, is not the same as $B. And now I would like to see what is the content of $A and $B. So $A, again, I'm escaping on this one with the backslash. $A is equal to $A. And then now I can see the value of $A, which is value 1. Same here to $B. I'm escaping the dollar. Because of that, we are seeing the dollar sign over here. And the content of this variable is value 2. What else if I came over here and change this to value 2? Now I can see that $A has the value of $B, which is value 2. Doesn't matter if I'm printing here $A or $B, because the value is the same. I'm testing $A, $B, the first variable or second variable. They have the same content. So again, doesn't matter if I'm printing $A or $B, because the content should be the same. Okay. Wally, if I use the bash-x over here, it's gonna work in the same way? Definitely, yes. You can see the attribution of $A and $B. They have the same content, and then $A has the value of $B, which is value 2. Let's return this here. Let me clean up the screen. And let's execute one more time. And then we can see under the hood what's going on. Value 1, A, value 2, B, value 1 is equal to value 2. No, they are different. So let's skip this line and let's move it on to else. Then all the information on this block is going to be presented. The content of $A is not the same as $B. And then now we can see the content of the variable A and B. And here you can see the command in the script and the output in your screen, or at least in my screen. Let's clean up and move it on to the next example. Great, now we have numbers. So I have the number 2 and number 3, and I'm doing one more check. Hey, is this number same as this number? Is equal. We have equal, greater than, less than, like something like this. Let me put dash greater than or dash less than. You can use some tests like this, but let's skip on equal. So is $A 2 equal to $B 3? Is 2 equal 3? No, we know this is false. Assuming that this statement is true, this will be printed and this will be skipped. Assuming this is false, this will be skipped and then else will be in charge. And this will be presented. So let's take a look. Example 3. And check this out. $A is different from $B. A is equal to and B is equal 3. Let's do this change. Let's put the same value. Let me clean up the screen. And one more time, we can see now using numbers that $A is equal to $B, which is 2. And doesn't matter if I pick $A or $B because they are the same. So I can print any of them. Amazing. Let's move it on and let's improve a little bit this one. So check this out. Now I have some additional variables. I have A, B, C, and D. A and B, they are the same. C and D, they are the same value. So with that said, let's take a look. I have one statement over here and another statement over here in a single if. So the point is, I have my first statement, my second statement, and I can use some operators just to say and or. So what I'm doing here is I have my first statement, and assuming this is true, I would like to say something like, hey, true and true, which means something like this. Assuming the first statement is true, like this one, and the second statement is true, then okay, this will be the message. If one of them is false, like false and true, the double ampersand operation will require that all the statements are true. And then at the end of the day, if all of them are true, this is gonna pass. If one of them is false, then this test is gonna fail. So let me give it a shot. So A is equal B. We have 2 and 2. This is nice. This is true, okay? Because 2 is equal to. And $C is equal $D. We have the variable content as heir to both of them. This is also true. So let's give it a shot. Example 4. And check this out. Both tests passed. Let me do one more thing here. Using the debug that we just learned. We have A and B, which has the value of 2, and C and D, which has the value of heir. And then I have this first test, which is true. 2 is equal to. And then I have my second test or my second statement, which is error. And once I have the ampersand as the operator, this is the AND operator, then okay, this is true and this is true, which means everything is true. Then we have this statement. We pass it. All the tests are okay. Now let's suppose that I have this one, 2 and 3. Let's keep moving with the debug-x. We have 2 and 3. And then we have the first test. So 3 is equal to, no, this is false. I don't even need to move it on because I know this is false, and doesn't matter if I have 2, 3, 10 tests after that. All of them should be failing because I'm using the AND. Okay? Because I'm using the AND operator. Let's do something different. I have 2 and 2, error 1 and error 2. So check this out. My first test is 2 equal 2, and then this pass, my first statement. Okay, let's move it on because I have the double ampersand. I'm testing, this is an AND, so I have my first true, and the second one is true or false. Error 1 is equal error. No, they are different, so this fail. Once this fail, I will skip this one, and then I will land on this one. One of the tests fail, like the message that we have over here. And Wally, if all of them fail, what will happen? Remember, this is going to stop in the first test. If you have the AND, this is going to stop in the first one, and that's it. So we'll not move it on, we'll not pass, because of the operator that you are using, okay? Let's move it on to this one. This is OR operation. So what I'm saying is this statement or this task can be true or this one. I don't need both of them. In some situations, you have tests like this. I need my first and my second. Let me copy this and like OR operation. In some situations, you have the scenario where you have to do some tests, some checks in your script, and then, okay, I would like to get this one true and also this one true, because this is a requirement. If one of them are false, that means my script will fail and then I have to stop, okay? In this scenario, both should be true. In this one over here, I don't care. Eventually, this should be true or this should be true. If at least one of them is true, I'm okay with that and I'm good to go. I'm good to accept this condition and move it on. So check this out. We have, let's put true to all of them. 3, 3, error, error. Okay. And let's execute this with our debug, because debug is a friend of us. So 3 and 3, error and error. 3 is equal 3. You see that I tested the first statement, and once I have OR, I don't care anymore because I have at least one true. That's okay. I'm good with that. Let me stop, let me move it on, and then print the message. Or call any function, any operation. I don't even need to do all the tests in a sequence because I'm using the OR operation. Okay? Let's do this one then. And then you can see the message. One of the tests passed. Again, I don't care which one, the first or the second. That's okay. I'm good with that. Let's run this guy. So check this out. I have my variables A and B, error, error. So my first statement is false. Didn't pass. But once I have OR, okay, now let me check my second statement. And what is my second statement? Error. So once I have error, one of the tests passed. And once again, I'm in the same situation, same spot. I don't care how many, if at least one passed, that's okay, I'm good. Let's do this. This will only fail in the situation where both are false. So let me put error1. Let's clean up and let's rerun. So look at that. Now we have the value of 2 to A, the value of 3 to B, value of error to C, and error1 to D. And if you notice here, I'm using numbers on this one. Then the operation I'm using is dash EQ, which means equal. Is 2 equal to 3? No, this is false. $C and $B. Is error equal to error1? Now I'm testing strings. No, this is also false. So if this is false or this is false, none of them are true. So okay, let's skip this one. Let's move it on to else. And then we can see this message. All tests fail because none of them are true or valid. So we can see that all tests fail. Okay. Let me just do one thing here to complement this video. You can see that you can combine like different statements. You can use the or, you can use and, you can combine and or. You can do this kind of approach. But one thing that is very interesting is this. Let's use this one here. I'm testing two variables, $A and $B, and I have those variables in my script, okay? So instead of doing this, let's do something like this. My $B will be my second parameter, and my $A will be my first parameter. If you have no idea what is this, fear not, because again, we have in our area of bash scripts some videos explaining this one, and one of them is talking about how to use, how to count, how to access. So go over there, give it a shot, and if you have any question, leave in the comments below. I'll be more than glad to help. So let's give it a shot here. This is example 2. If we call this one with no parameter, check this out. $A is empty, $B is empty. We are testing nothing with nothing, and the message was true because, hey, $A has the value of $B, which is nothing, okay? Let's change this a bit. So 2 and 3. If you take a look, 2 is different to 3, and then I would like to bring here your attention to this one. I said before that this is a string operator. I'm using is 2 equal 3, but the string 2 is equal the string 3, and we have the information like the content of $A is not the same as $B. This is working as expected, but because we are doing a string operation, okay? If we try 3 with 3, again, this is a string. The string 3 is the same as the string 3. Then we have this the same value to them. If I try to use some operator like, okay, is 3 greater than 3 or A greater than B, like this is not gonna work. So keep in mind that when using like numbers and strings, we have people trying to mix them up, and eventually the script does not work just because of this. You are trying to do some operation that are supposed to be number operation in strings or vice versa. You are trying to do some string operation in number, and then eventually the result will not be as expected. Cool. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was if statement in bash. If you'd like to learn more about bash, we have one section over here just about bash script and some best practices and commands and everything about bash. Feel free to leave your comment in the comments area. I'll be more than glad to help if you have an additional question. Okay? I'll see you in the next video.